Woo! If you're here, say hello. Let us know if you're watching. It's Coach Kylie here with the amazing, super sexy, sassy, kick-ass ninja, Ashley.
Hello, everyone. Oh my God,
Lovely.
so excited to be here. It's going to be so much fun today. I was just playing Get the Party Started because that is absolutely what we are going to be doing today for you and your, new amazing life that we are going to help you discover and really kick off into. So welcome everyone. So excited to have you here. Love for you to firstly pop in the chat, where are you calling in from? Today I am in Newcastle, not far from Sydney, Australia. It is very cloudy and boring outside. Definitely looking for some sunshine, and I believe Kylie up on Bribey Island has plenty of that today. Loving it. So I'd also love for you to pop in the chat. I want you to give me from 0 to 10, 10 being absolutely super excited, 10 being, really you got dragged here and you don't actually want to be here. How are you feeling out of 10 with excitement and, energy levels today to get started in our 3-day challenge? Day 1 is my favorite because we get to meet all of you new amazing people, and I get to, expand my circle of influence with some of you as well. So I love for you to pop it in the chat. How are you feeling out of 10? And lastly, it's not too late to invite a friend. So, when we're looking at improving ourselves and, setting new habits in life, it's always really, really important to have somebody who can hold us accountable. Now, I know for me, when I've gone gung-ho in my business and had no one beside me, I've kind of, thought I was doing everything. But then when the days got tough, I didn't have anyone there to help me along and kind of kick me in the ass when I needed to. So this time round, and many times after that, I have invited a friend to really help me. And then, once I've had that person beside me, my business has absolutely skyrocketed. And then, of course, so has my life, because I've been able to get a lot more balance and freedom within it, and really have those friends held closely and bring them along with me as well. So absolutely invite a friend if you haven't already. And yes, give us a number out of 10. How are you feeling? Now, I'm really excited for this bit where I get to introduce our incredible coach, Kylie, business coach Kylie, who is, just an amazing friend of mine. Have known Kylie for, I think nearly 6 years now, actually. And, we went into business. I joined up with this incredible woman last year and started off as an internship with her, and then now working beside her. And having her as such a big part of my life is just, so much better because of it. I'm really excited for, all of you to meet this incredible woman as well. So Kylie, has done many businesses herself, had lots of, franchisee gyms, I think 13 of them a few years ago, and used to be the head coach at the College of Business. And, it's just an absolute rock star. I'm sure many of you have seen some of her live videos, and she is always about giving value. Everything she does, is really from her heart and all with love. And it's so exciting to be able to see all of the amazing women that she's been able to help due to, the incredible value and opportunities that she's allowed people to see. And I cannot wait for you to be one of those as well. So Kylie, I'm going to pass over to you, incredible, loving woman. I'm so excited to be here with you.
Whoop, whoop. Oh my goodness, it's challenge day. This is so exciting. Thank you, Ash, for being an amazing host and my right-hand ninja on the call today. And just want to give a massive shout out to every one of you who are here. A huge welcome, a huge virtual hug, because you've invested your most precious asset to be here today, and that is your time. So Ash and I was a girl guide, so I promised to do my best and help other people. And today, our promise to you is we are going to give you everything that we can give you to make sure that you get maximum value for your time. So let's deep dive into this today. So first and foremost, let's just talk, why are we here? What's our mission for you? So my mission for you is to help you make an impact doing what you love with the balance and freedom to do whatever you want. So we're going to just think for a moment, what does that look like for you? If you could show up every day, having the best day of your life, having so much fun, making an impact to those that you want to serve, financial freedom, time freedom, having the life that you have dreamed of, what would that look like? Because that is exactly what's possible when you launch your own online course or program. Now, you may be thinking, yeah, right, Kyles, but I have no clue of what I could launch. I'm too young, I'm too old, I have no money, I have blah, 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 blah. Whatever your stories, excuses, and reasons are, they are all going to keep you stuck where you are right now. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. So what I want to share with you, just to kick off this call today, is a little bit about this wave, this massive wave of momentum that is known as the online learning industry. So let's not sugarcoat it. This year has been really tough for so many. COVID has changed the way that we do business. So let me know in the comments, have you been impacted, or how have you been impacted by COVID? Now, some people have been wiped out by it, lost incomes, they're in financial hardship, and they've lost jobs, businesses have closed down. But at the same time, others have completely changed their life. They've, got their health back on track. They've had time with their families. They've launched new businesses and programs. They've done online learning and online courses. So what has COVID looked like for you? And what are you grateful for with COVID? So, and the next thing that I just want to, talk about is, we're 3/4 of the way through the year. COVID might have wiped you out for the first 3/4 of this game, but let's create a game worth playing. Let's really look at this next 90 days of what's possible to set you up for success, to make 2021 your absolute best year yet. So out of all of the opportunities in the world, out of all the different businesses that are available, why do I teach and recommend that everybody creates and launches their own online course? Well, there are many reasons. So the first one is the online learning industry is absolutely booming right now. And listen to this. The projected net worth of this industry, it's projected that the online learning industry is going to be $325 billion, that's with a B, $325 billion revenue by 2025. That is huge. Do you want to have a piece of that pie? I know I certainly do. And right now, we're at the beginning of that wave of momentum. Now, let's just take a look at the last year. Online sales compared to this time last year have increased 76%, soon to be doubled. That's just in the last year. Now, online learning used to be something that, only a few did. Now it's the norm thanks to COVID. COVID has played right into our hands because now, most companies all turn to online learning. So this is a massive opportunity. Online learning has become the norm. People are now looking for online learning with whatever it is that they want to learn how to do. And think about the convenience of online learning. You don't have to pay rent for premises. You don't have to drive somewhere and, get all dressed up and do parking and, all the time of logistics of, getting set up and to and from venues and, ordering morning tea and coffees. Like, online learning is so freaking simple, and it's pretty much zero startup costs. You can get started on a zero budget, just sharing your experience, sharing your knowledge, your skills. And today, we're going to help you get clarity on your superpower. So we know that the online learning industry is booming. It's projected to be $325 billion by 2025. Online sales have almost doubled compared to this time last year. More people are on social media than ever before, making it easier than ever for you to actually reach your target audience. And tomorrow, I'm going to help you nail your niche, because that's one of the biggest mistakes that most people make when it comes to launching online. They don't nail their niche. So we will be working on that then. So really, this is like a silver platter for you to say, hey, it's the perfect time, the perfect storm, the perfect wave for you to be able to launch online. So what is possible from launching online? So I want to just share a couple of results that we've helped some lovely ladies just like you achieve just from showing up to this exact challenge that you're in today. And then I'm going to get you to create what's the game that you're going to play for this challenge. So in our last challenge, we had a lovely lady called Jen. She had never created an online program before, and she didn't even have a course. She just had an idea. And literally from this challenge, within 51 minutes of launching, she generated 16,000 US dollars. Wow. What would 16,000 US dollars in the next 14 days, what difference would that make to you? Like, for a lot of people, that would be life-changing, right? Now, Lauren's first job, I think Lauren's online with us. Hey, Loza, I'm just having a look at the comments. Lauren is online. So Lauren came into this challenge, actually thanks to Ashley. So Ashley invited her gorgeous friend from school to jump online because Lauren had been watching Ashley, because Ashley had launched. Now, Lauren did this challenge, and to be completely transparent with you, her first launch flopped. She actually had 0 signups from her first challenge. But guess what? She didn't give up. She launched, she relaunched. She now has 2 online programs running at the same time. She hit her first 10K month, and she has just resigned from her day job. Like, how awesome is that? That happened within 90 days. So then we have single mum Billy. Billy is an NLP coach. She had no course, no list, no clue of what to launch. She'd never done any of this before. And she was able to generate $20,000 in 14 days. Like, again, life-changing stuff, right? We had a lovely lady called Sue who had been sitting on her course idea for 4 years, not knowing how to launch it, not thinking that she was good enough, having all of the excuses of why she couldn't. She came to this challenge. Guess what? On day 3, she launched. Amazing. Katarina, she was a lady who had an idea of something that she wanted to launch. She came and did this program, sold out her program. She actually overbooked, had 13 brand new ladies registered in her program. She was blown away. And then we had Julie. So Julie had actually been doing online marketing for a while. She was very successful in her corporate career. She had tried and tried and tried to launch. And after many failed launches, she'd pretty much given up and thought, no, it's not for me. I can't do this. Well, guess what? She came and did this challenge. She decided to just give it one more time. And when she got our signature system, and we have a little saying inside of our mastermind group, inside of our with our ladies, and it's follow the fucking system. Because if you bake a cake and you don't follow the recipe, what's going to happen? It's not going to work, right? It's the same with the launch. So we have a system. We handed over the signature system, which we'll be sharing with you over these next 3 days. And guess what? Finally, she had a launch that worked, and then she's relaunched, and she's had her biggest launch yet. And like, just everything has completely changed for her. So what is possible for you? What are the results that you want to create for your life, for your business? What's the impact that you want to make in this world? Who are the people that you want to help and serve? How much income do you want to create in the next 30 days? How much income do you want to make before Christmas? And most importantly, what is the life that you want to create for you and your family? And I hope that it starts with fun and freedom, because really, you know, we're here for such a short time on this planet. So what does your dream life look like? But remembering, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And I'm actually going to read a little insert from a book that I'm re-listening to. So I read this book about 11 years ago. It's called The Saint, the Surfer, and the CEO. It's by Robin Sharman. He also wrote the book The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. I actually don't have the hard copy book at the moment. I lent it to someone at some stage on my journey, so it's somewhere out there in the world, but I listened to it on Audible. And so in this book, the saint says, to have a new life, you must first think, feel, and act like a new person. In life, you ultimately don't get what you want, you get who you are. So I'm going to say that again. To have a new life, you must first think, feel, and act like a new person. Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. And in life, you ultimately don't get what you want, you get who you are. So who are you being? And, remember we talked about that game of, going away with those 80 plus. I did share that, didn't I, Ashley? Did I share the story? Yeah, I've done a live and I've had a few conversations about this today. Wanted to check that I covered it in this live. So, those 87-year-old men who played the game to pretend that they were 25 years younger, and the impact that had on them. What's the game that you're going to play? So first and foremost, let's commit to completing this challenge. Let's commit to completing your worksheets, to actually taking the action and implementing this and launching, because there are people out there in darkness who need your help. They're waiting for you to shine your light. They already love you. They just haven't found you yet. So what is the game that you're going to play for this next 90 days? And in this next 90 days, the game that you could be playing is, I'm going to launch and I'm going to create an online business that generates me $10,000 a month, working less than 10 hours a week, because that's the game that we like to play as our first milestone, to set you and your family up for the rest of your life. Maybe that game's too small for you. Maybe you want to create 100 grand of income between now and Christmas. Maybe that's too big. Maybe just an extra $5,000 a month would make a massive impact for you. So what's the game that you want to play in the next 90 days? And let's create a game that's worth playing. So Ash, I'm just going to hand back to you for a second, and then we will deep dive into today's superpower.
Yes. Oh my God. Loving the comments that are coming in, and, really thank you all for popping your comments in there. And I know for me, like, COVID hit me pretty hard as well when it first happened. I'd been working as an operations manager in an industry where I thought I really loved and I was really passionate. And then I got fired. And my life was rocked a little bit, but instead of being, absolutely thrown on my ass just as COVID hit, I took that as a massive opportunity to really grow myself. I threw myself into the first Launch with Love challenge that we had. I launched my business. I'm now making the same amount of money now on, maximum 5 hours a day, versus what I was on, 24 hours, 7 days a week. And I know absolutely my life has changed. I'm really excited to see yours as well. So love it, Lauren. Love it, Shelley. Committing. Excellent. That's what we want. Anna says, I want a life full of love, fun, and joy with my friends and family. Anna, I am so with you there. I love it. What else have we got? Yes. Welcome, Chrissy. Welcome, Vivian, Lauren, Sarah, so many others who are in there. And yes, Di, COVID has impacted us in lots of different ways we maybe didn't think of. So it's really exciting to be able to, link arms with other people and then really launch yourself into this, dream life for yourself. So I'm really excited that you're all here. So Kylie, back over to you.
Thank you, lovely lady. Oh my goodness, I'm loving these comments that are coming through as well. So keep them coming. And if you have questions, make sure that you pop your questions below so that we can answer those, because we'll do a live Q&A at the end as well. All right, so when it comes to launching your program, so obviously if you aim at nothing, you're guaranteed to hit it, which is why we kicked off with creating a game that's worth playing. So what does that look like for you? So we actually need to have clarity on what it is that we want. We also need to have clarity on what's holding us back. Now, we're not going to deep dive into that today. I'm just going to, let that sit with you, and you can do a journal exercise and you can look at that yourself. So get clarity at a soul level, like a soul conscious level, what it is that you want for your life, that game that you're going to play, and then start also thinking about what's holding you back. But the very first step for you to actually launch your own program or course or product online is for you to step into your power, for you to discover your superpower. And, let me know in the comments, just so I can kind of get a bit of a sense for who's in the room. So who's really clear, they've got an idea, they know what they want to launch, and who has no clue and they feel like there's nothing that they could, that they could contribute. And so, yeah, just give me a bit of a sense of that. So when it comes to you discovering your superpower, your life and your business is a reflection of you. And how you see yourself, how you perceive yourself is then what's going to manifest into the world. So if you've got disempowering stories that you're not good enough and you don't know enough and, blah, 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 whatever it is, or you're in fearitis, you're stopped, maybe you're worried about what other people are going to think, that fear of judgment, or maybe it's fear of success. Maybe you are sabotaging yourself. Or maybe you're stuck in comparitis. You're comparing yourself to everyone else out there to see what they're doing and then beating yourself up because you're not like them. But here's the thing, your magic source is you. You are your superpower because no one else is you. Now, if we think about Tony Robbins for a moment, Tony Robbins is one of the most successful entrepreneurs on the planet. He didn't start life like that. He was just like us. He was just a regular guy. And guess what? He was what he called himself, a knowledge broker. What is a knowledge broker? So there's an incredible guy who was Tony Robbins' mentor and someone who I've studied and learned from for years, and that's Jim Rohn. So what Tony Robbins did when he launched his career, he would go out and basically share Jim Rohn's knowledge, and he would get people to jump in and join Jim Rohn's programs until he got to the point that he was ready to go launch his own. So you don't even have to launch your own thing. You could launch someone else's thing. We have a whole bunch of people who are affiliates who promote our programs. So you could also do that. But let's just look for a moment, because there is only one you. So if you're even doing a knowledge broker, so let's just take Tony Robbins, and he was learning from Jim Rohn, but then he could share his experience of that. He could share it from his perspective, from someone who was however many years younger, from someone who, had a different set of experiences growing up, who had a single mum. And so no one else has been through the adversity that you've been through. No one else has had that exact, walked that same life. So it's you embracing that and allowing your mess to become your message. So if there's something that you've had to overcome, some adversity in life, if you've been able to get through that or achieve a result, that's something that you can help someone else do. So in your worksheet, I've actually got some questions there. So that's designed for you to discover your superpower. So it's going to be something that you take for granted. It's going to be something, because the more you look, the more it hides. And typically it's in our blind spot, which is why you want to have a coach or come and do a challenge or a program just like this. So a couple of questions in your worksheet just to kind of get the creative juices flowing. So first and foremost, what have been your greatest achievements in your life? Because if you've achieved something in your life, then someone else probably wants to achieve that too. And maybe they're stuck and they can't figure out how to do that. So then you can basically break that down into what was the step-by-step process that you followed. So you're creating the recipe for that particular achievement, and then you can help somebody else do the same, because that is your superpower, because you've done it, whereas someone else is still trying to figure it out. And when it comes to you creating your online course or program, ultimately, we want to help someone else get from where they are to where they want to be. And we want to help them save time, money, and energy to get them there sooner. And that's why I love the word system. A system is an acronym for save yourself time, energy, and money. So when you're creating your online course or program, that's what it's all about. How can you help someone get from where they are to where they want to be to save themselves time, energy, and money, so we can get them there faster? So the second thing, what have been your greatest challenges or adversity that you've faced in your life? So for example, 6 years ago, I hit rock bottom and I lost everything, like literally overnight. I had no income. We were forced to sell our home. I had my car repossessed and it was horrible. But you know what? I now look back at that and I'm so grateful because my life changed for the better because everything happens for us. Now, there are other people who are in that space right now who are back like I was, who are hurting, who are in pain, who, you know, they're just stuck in this big black hole and they can't see forward. And then I can come in and share my story and go, you know what? I get it. I was there exactly where you are and here's what I did. And now look at the life that I've got. It's amazing. You know, I get to spend so much quality time with my kids. I walk on the beach most days. You know, I'm the happiest and healthiest I've been in a long time. Financially, you know, I'm totally, you know, making really good money, but I'm doing it in a leverage way. So I have balance and freedom. None of that would have been possible if I didn't lose everything 6 years ago. So what has been your greatest challenge or adversity? And, you know, other people will be facing that and then you can help them to be able to get back up. You know, the Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall, put those broken pieces back together again. And really it's about giving people hope. It's about helping them with what's that next step. So another thing I want you to think about, and I know we've got our Talent Dynamics incredible superstar online here. What are you doing when you feel like you are most in flow, when you are like loving it and you just feel like you are doing what you were born to do? And for me, it's running these challenges. It's running, you know, group coaching sessions. Like this is what I know I am born to do. I love it. You know, I love to be able to, you know, change people's thinking, to get out of their head and their stories and their excuses and their self-doubt, to be able to actually see what's possible again and actually go, well, here's the simple step-by-step process to get there. You know, I love the KISS method. Keep it simple, superstar. You know, we overcomplicate the fuck out of things. You know, so many people are going about things the hard way. Making money is easy. Making an impact is easy. But we've got to choose that, you know, rather than trying to do it the hard way. So where do you feel like you're most in flow? So what are things that people come and ask you? Oh my gosh, you do that so easily. Like, how do you do that? Because I really struggle with that, because that's another area that you can then help people. When we were building our network marketing business, I used to meet people like this, so easy, and just connect online. I built my whole business on social media. So my first course that I launched was my social media success system to help other entrepreneurs how they could launch online. And again, like, you know, in a fraction of the time, you know, working smarter, not harder, achieving, you know, 4 times the results in a quarter of the time frame. So what are you doing when you're most in flow? And then what do you absolutely love? What are you passionate about? Because we are, again, here for such a short time. You want to do what you love. And I think it was actually Jim Rohn that said, if you do what you love, you'll never work another day in your life ever again. We've got Lauren, which we talked about, you know, a little bit earlier. You know, Lauren loves skincare. So she's the girl who loves cosmetics. She's now created her own online programs teaching women around skincare. You know, so she's now teaching people to do what she absolutely loves and is passionate about. So what do you love? What are you passionate about? Because if you don't absolutely love it, like, oh my gosh, like go do something else. Life is way too short if it's not fun and it's not something that you love. And my last question, and you know, I actually got asked this question by someone about a year after I lost everything. And this was one of those profound questions that really had me consciously create this life. And that question was, if you could only do one thing for the rest of your life, what would you choose and why? And I thought about, what's the one thing that I love to do? And it was coaching people. I love coaching people because I get to make an impact in their lives. And the ripple effect of that is massive, right? There's only so many people I can help, but when I'm coaching people, I can help you to help other people. And then wowzers, you know, and that allows me to be able to impact 1 million lives, which that for me is a game worth playing. So if you can only do one thing for the rest of your life, what would that look like? What would you choose? and why is that important to you? So that is the first step with deep diving into our superpower. So Ash, I'm just going to hand back to you for a second. How are we going in the comments? Are there any questions? And yeah, what's going on?
We don't have any questions yet, but I am loving the comments. So Anna says systems is the thing that she finds the easiest, both making them and following them. And Anna, I love them as well. I think all of our Kikasity team too. I especially love improving them, even people, and they I often see as a system. So then we have Sarah, who says, you know, she's in flow when she's writing, editing, and organizing. Has been told that she's inspiring and that the person they call when they need to feel better. So she's really keen to pass that genius onto our students, families, and educators as well. Sorry, Jules has said, it's a great way to look at it. Our challenges are our biggest blessings. And as I said, sometimes it doesn't feel like that in the moment. But, you know, once you have enough of them and you really reflect on that challenge and learn from it, I know now, anytime that I come up against a challenge, I just go with the flow, because I know that I'm going to have a massive breakthrough and my life will be so amazing afterwards, because I've been able to, you know, face that challenge head on. Di says she's passionate about helping people discover their talents and strengths and to know how they can add value to others and do what they love. So I love all these comments. Keep them coming in. Really keen to hear, what you're passionate about, what your challenges are, you know, where you're in flow, and how we can absolutely turn that love and passion into, you know, something more and something amazing for you, so you can start living your dream life right now.
Oh, I love it, Ash. Thank you so much. And some great comments in there. So I think it was Julie who talked about the challenges and adversities. So, you know, I think the key is to really, you know, again, what are we thinking about what's happening to us? You know, we can think, oh, poor me, and, you know, be in a victim state. Or we can actually be excited and go, wow, like this is happening for me. What's the lesson? What's the blessing? And the bigger the breakdown, the bigger the breakthrough on the other side. And I think it was Anna, you talked about systems, like, oh my gosh, so many people struggle with the systems. So, you know, you could create a course on how to create systems for people. Like there'll be so many people who love and need that. And I can see Julie has put on there like, systems in the comments. So, you know, Anna, you'll be a perfect person for someone like Julie who needs systems to be able to leverage her business and to be able to make the impact that she wants to make. But that's not her genius gift. That's something she struggles with. Or is that something that you could just create like that? So you can see already just in this call, and, you know, for those of you from your comments, there's already some superpowers that are being identified that can make a massive impact to other people. So that first exercise is to really just, I guess, do a bit of a brain dump, to start thinking about, you know, looking at what is your superpower and identifying your genius gift. But then how do we turn that into an online program, product, or course? So one of my favorite books is Good to Great by Jim Collins. Now, it is a bit of a heavy book. It is quite a hard book to get into. But essentially it's a study of thousands of companies in the US. And it's talking about what is the difference between a good company and a great company, because good is the enemy of great. And they wanted to determine, like, what were those key principles that had a company like totally be great versus just being average. Now, I won't go through all of the principles, but one of the principles in this book is what they call the Hedgehog Principle. Do you guys write on your books and highlight them and color them in like I do? You should see Ashley's face in the background right now. She's horrified. So essentially with the hedgehog principle, there's 3 circles, and the hedgehog is this little intersecting part in the middle. So the first circle is passion. What are you passionate about? What do you absolutely love? And so out of all of the superpowers and all of the ideas that you had, we want to make sure that you're choosing something that you're passionate about. So Anna, for example, I think you put in about you love systems. So for example, Julie hated systems. So Julie would not be doing a course on systems because that's not what she's passionate about, right? So it needs to be something that lights you up. You're excited about it. And for me, like, I love business. I love creating online businesses and, empowering other women to, create a life of their dreams. So, my mantra, your business, your life, your way, that totally lights me up. So the second circle is strengths. So what can you hand on heart say you are the best in the world at, or what can you be the best in the world at? So for example, if there's something that you really love, but you're really not good at it, then of course, and you can't learn to be. So for example, right now, I have not mastered Facebook ads. Everything that we do in our launch program is pretty much using organic traffic, but to scale, I understand that Facebook ads are a key component to that. So I'm learning Facebook ads. Now, can I be the best in the world at Facebook ads? Yes, I can. It's not going to take long. We're already totally moving down that path, but am I the best in the world at Facebook ads right now today in this moment? No, I'm not. So I certainly would not be launching a course on how to do Facebook ads right now, but that would totally be possible in like 18 months, 2 years from now. So what are your strengths? What can you hand on heart say, oh my goodness, I am the best at this right now? And then the third part is profitability, return on investment. So what is going to give you the biggest ROI? So you want to be looking at creating profit, but in a leveraged way. So how can you make more money in less time? And that's where these online courses are so powerful, because I can be online right now and I could be delivering to 100 people. But this is recorded, so it could be 1,000 people actually get to see this replay. So therefore, I do it once, versus if I was doing this one-on-one, then I have to keep doing that over and over and over and over. And so let's just think for a moment with what is going to be your most profitable idea. So if we think, so let's just take skincare for a moment, because I know we've got Lauren online. So what is someone going to invest in a course or a program to learn about skincare? Now, beauty and skincare is a massive industry. Women invest a fortune in looking and feeling beautiful. Now, when you are launching a course or a program, basically the price is determined on what is the result or the transformation that you can create for people. So if let's just say we had Anna talking about systems. So let's just say, Anna, you were going to help people create systems. You would want to look at what part of their life or business are you going to create systems in that's going to give you the biggest leverage, that's going to help them have the greatest shift, the greatest result. Because if it's only an incremental result, so let's just say it's, going back to skincare, learning how to put on makeup. Like that might be, a $200 program versus if you wanted to help someone launch a course and they could do a $30,000 launch, like obviously that type of course you could charge a lot more for. So it's really looking at what is going to be profitable, what's going to give you the biggest return on investment that you are really good at and you are passionate about. So then what we're going to do is start looking at what were all of your responses to the questions in that first section about discover your superpower. And then the second section with the Hedgehog Principle. And then you'll see that there's a little table in your notes. So you can start to put ideas down. So maybe your idea would be, I don't know, how to put on makeup, like how to do, but even that, right? Here's the thing. You could teach people how to do makeup or how to put on makeup to boost your career, or to get a pay rise or something like that. So you can see how then all of a sudden it could be way more profitable, because now we're, teaching them how to get a result in their life based on what you're sharing, not just how to put on makeup. And so for Anna, you mentioned about systems. So if it was a system on how to organize your garage, because I just reorganized my garage, versus a system on how to organize, an aspect of your business that could 10x your income, that is a completely different place when it comes to profitability. So it's still falling within your passion, it's still falling within your strengths, but we can make way more money out of that. Now, just one more thing before I finish on this point. I actually was coaching a lovely young man, and that was back when I used to coach men, and he wanted to launch an online program, and he really wanted to make a difference in the lives of men. Now, there were two ideas that he had. They were both something that he was equally passionate about. One of them was mentoring young boys in their late teenage years and setting them up so that they were going to, live their life powerfully and have really loving, connected relationships. The second course idea was to actually help broken men who had actually just gone through divorce or separation. Their life was a mess, and how to actually move forward again. Now, he was equally passionate about both of those. His strengths, he was probably slightly stronger in the dealing with broken men because he'd just been through that himself 3 years earlier, but he had a son who was 15. So he was still qualified and capable of, so his strength to do the young boys one was still solid, but not as solid as the broken men. But profitability, let me ask you, let me know in the comments, which one do you think would be more profitable? The teenage boys or the broken men? The teenage boys, helping them set up their lives so that they're not going to go through that pain and problem, or the broken men who are in that oh my gosh, my wife's just left me, I don't get to see my kids, my life is over, where do I go from here? Out of those two, which one do you think is the more profitable course idea? And while you're doing that, so basically in that table, then what you're going to do is pop all of your ideas, and then you're going to score them, because you will have half a dozen, even a dozen different courses inside of you that you can launch. I think we're on course number 5 at the moment. We've actually got a parking lot. I've got a Trello board with a whole heap of course ideas that we want to launch in the future. So I can see we're going to have 20 or 30 courses by the time we are done. But where do you start? Which one should you do next? Well, it all comes down to numbers. So we want to do the Hedgehog score. So what's the score out of 10 for how passionate you are about it? What's the score out of 10 for your strengths or skill set? What's your score out of 10 for the profitability? You add those 3 scores together, and that's going to give you an overall score. So obviously, if you add them together, it's going to be out of 30. Just divide it by 3, and that's going to come back to your score out of 10. So that will give you your overall Hedgehog score. You'll see which one is the highest, and then you'll see at the bottom of your worksheet, it says, I am committed to launching whatever that course idea is by, and then put a date on it. Because if you don't put a deadline, it's just going to be a wish. We need to actually have a deadline for you to then to be able to achieve that. So Ash, I'm just going to hand back to you. How did everyone go with that question? Which one did they think that was the most profitable? And then of course I will answer it.
So I think we've still got a couple more coming in, but Anna has said the broken men because they are feeling the pain. And I just want to share on a personal level, I work with men, and over the last week, I've been torn a little bit whether I continue working with my 20 to 30-year-olds or whether I work with the, 15 to 20 in the youth bracket, which is where I'm doing some, work with a friend at the moment. And this answer has definitely reminded me why I'm doing what I'm doing and the way that I'm doing it. So thank you for that little reminder there. So yes, Kylie, which one is it, the men or the youth?
Well, I think we've kind of made it pretty obvious. So the greater the pain, the greater someone's going to pay for a result or a transformation. So of course, the greater the pain is the broken man. And I asked him the question, I said, when you were in that space, what would you have paid if you could get a step-by-step process to be able to move through that faster to actually get back on with your life? And he said, I would have handed over my credit card and I would have paid anything. He would have paid anything. And I remember when my husband left me, I probably invested nearly $5,000 in courses and programs of how to win back your husband. I was desperate. I wanted that result. I so wanted to save my marriage, and I was prepared to invest in anything to find that answer that I was looking for. And the greater the pain, the greater the motivation, and the greater the what you can charge, the greater the profit out the other side. So whereas if you go back and his son was at it, I just said, well, what would you invest for your son to have that program to prevent that? And whilst that was important to him, it certainly wasn't at that same level. So you want to be able, and we're going to talk about this tomorrow, once you've actually chosen what your superpower course idea is, tomorrow I'm actually going to help you nail your niche so that you know who you're serving, that we're actually going to identify what is their painful problem, because we need to agitate that pain, because that is is actually going to sell your course. That's what's going to have them motivated to actually hand over their money and, invest in your program so that they can get that result that they're looking for. So Ash, hopefully that answered that question. I'm going to hand back to you, and we're going to wrap up. We have whipped through this today.
I love it. And absolutely, of course, it has answered the question now. I am just loving today. Yes, we've whipped through it, but there's been so much content and, amazing, thought-provoking things that we've discussed today. And I'm really excited to go back and read through some of those comments that I've missed and see all those from our replay as well. So of course, it's not too late to invite a friend, bring someone along, because I would love for you to share with us what was your biggest aha from today. And, you don't want to, leave your friends out of it as such. So yes, I know, as I said before, my biggest win for today is just getting that friendly reminder of that hedgehog principle. So exactly, what's my superpower, my passion, my strength, the profitability of that, and adding that all up. And it is, of course, for me, working with men 20 to 30 rather than those youth myself. So, Kylie, I just want to say a massive, massive thank you. You always give so much value. You have so much love for, all of these amazing women out there in whatever state that they are in, really just to grow them and this world into a better place, which is just, I love being around you and your incredible energy. And yes, so much value, as Sarah's just popped in the chat. So what is your biggest win from today, and how are you feeling out of 10 now? So, at the start we had a few 7s. I think we had a 5 in there. So how are you feeling now that we're at the end of day 1? So, tomorrow we're going to be looking at nailing your niche. And so that is, taking this superpower that we've got and then really identifying the group of people that we want to work with. And we're going to get as specific as we can with that, because, who pays more and who earns more, sorry. If you go to a GP or if you go to a specialist, which one do you have to pay more for? And which one, therefore has the more balanced lifestyle? Is it the GP or is it the specialist? And of course, it is the specialist, because they have nailed their niche. They've got very specific with it. And that's what we want you to be able to do as well. So you can charge more, so you can have more impact, and then of course have a more balanced life. So I think that's it from me. Amazing. Biz Coach Kylie, is there anything left from you?
I think just there's going to be so much that's going to come to you now, and it's just going to be like a download into your brain. So if you haven't already done so, make sure that you print off the worksheet and maybe do a meditation, go for a walk, sit with it, and you can keep adding to it. And I think the other thing is, so many people get stopped when it comes to superpower because they're trying to find the perfect answer. And so what tends to happen is sometimes you need to take action on something, and then that will lead you to your true purpose. But whilst you're still trying to find that perfect thing, so my first course that I launched was my social media success system. Now that was something that I was passionate about and I was really good at, and it was profitable, but not as much as what I'm now doing with this Launch with Love system. So, then we're able to create this as our second launch. And now, we've had multiple intakes come through this program and have incredible, incredible results. So it doesn't have to be the one. We want to have it as high on that score as possible, and just keep sitting with it. Even ask other people that know you really well. What am I really good at? What are your thoughts and suggestions? And basically, thanks Vivian, if you watch this replay again, you're going to take on so much more too. But tomorrow and day 3, we're going to continue to build on this. So tomorrow, this is like the foundations. Then when we nail your niche, we'll be deep diving into this. So we're going to be peeling back the layers of the onion. So even if you haven't felt like you've nailed your superpower today, that's okay, because we're going to build on that tomorrow. And then we'll build on it again on day 3. So really excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow is my favorite session. As Ashley said, the riches are in the niches. And this is probably the biggest mistake that most people make, and why their marketing flops in general, not just with launches, because they don't know their niche and they don't know how to communicate to their niche. So we're going to deep dive into that tomorrow. So if you have any type of business, you've ever wanted to launch any type of business, or you do any type of sales, marketing in your role or your business, tomorrow, oh my gosh, it is going to blow your mind, and it's going to make a massive impact. So we can't wait to see you there. So thank you so much, everybody. And back to you, Ash. And I think we're done.
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, we are. And I've popped in the comments there, just that link again. So if you haven't yet registered while you're catching us today, you can register there. And that's where you'll get all the emails through for reminders of the calls, and of course, the worksheets as well. So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for what comes up over the next 24 hours for all of you. Please, if you have any questions, make sure you pop them in that chat, because we will be monitoring until tomorrow's call. So thank you, everyone. Have an amazing afternoon, and we will see you tomorrow.
Whoop, whoop. Bye, everyone. Mwah.